Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
You may regret a haircut or even a boyfriend or two, but not these trends. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness and I am here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks, trends you will not regret. Hey, everybody knows trends come and go, but some do have staying power and they turn into classics. They, and then in turn, shape the way we think about style and decor for years to come. Today, we're going to talk about what trends have staying power and those you will not regret. Okay, you want to start with the first one?
I'm going to say home shelving.
Home shelving? Not home sheltering, home shelving. Okay.
Like built-in shelves.
Oh, built-in shelves. Yes. Love it.
But I'm qualifying it. I'm saying not in the bedroom. I think you're going to regret that. Not necessarily in the kitchen, open shelving, because I think if you're switching from cabinetry to open shelving, we've already seen where that's gone. So I'm really talking about in the living room, because it's kind of like built-in shelving, and because that's something that I think is a classic. A lot of people do have bookcases in there, and I know in my neighborhood there's a lot of classic craftsman-style homes, some brand new, some 100 years old, and they all have shelving, or most of them do, around the fireplace. And so I think it's a classic look, and the beauty of it is the reason that I don't really consider it a trendy thing that was going to come or go is the stuff you put in it really impacts the way it looks. So, you can change it out with whatever is in style, but you still have these classic shelves that work. And so you can change it out every season, every year, whatever. But I think and you can paint them. But I think it's a beautiful thing to have. That's where you can display your ironstone or your dishes, books, whatever it is that you collect. So that's my thought.
I love built-in, whether it's bookshelves or shelving. I think it's like great molding or just great architectural additions to a room, whether it's a chair rail or wainscoting or some sort of molding that is affixed to the wall. I think it's beautiful, and done right, it can really, I think, also add a sense of age in a good way to a house, because a spec house that's just tossed up is probably not going to have really beautiful built-in shelving. And so I think it will add a sense of timelessness to the room, particularly in a living room or a family room. So I think you're right on with that.
What do you have?
Natural rugs. So jute rugs, sisals, seagrass, whatever floats your boat. And we have an episode where we really took a deep dive into the different types of natural fabrics and which might be the best for you. So we can link that here. That is just such a great look. It can transform a very traditional looking home with very traditional type of furniture, even the classic cherry, mahogany, what have you, dining room set. If you put a natural woven rug that has some nubbiness and textures under that, instantly changes a room. It can stand alone. It can stand the test of time. You can layer these type of rugs. They're very affordable. And I think they add this casual elegance. Any decor style can benefit from some sort of a casual elegance.
Yeah, I agree with you on the jute rugs or sisal or whichever type you choose. And the interesting thing to me on these rugs is that they have been in style, on trend, I would say and pretty hot, I would say for at least 15 years. So I don't see that going away anytime soon. So that's the interesting thing. I mean, and that's how you can tell it's really something that's got some legs to it if it's already been around for a while.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. At least 15 years. I definitely think so. And I just think it's one of those things like built-in bookcases or kitchen cabinets that are white. These are things that are just never going to go away. You can always rely on them.
Yes. And the next one, I've heard tell that these were going out, but I've never believed it. And I think, and you and I both agreed, and that is subway tiles. I think they've been hot. I mean, they've been around, obviously, for at least 100 years. Hot, I would say, for maybe about 10 years. I don't see that changing. And if you're going with a simple, classic subway tile, I think those are going to really stand the test of time. Once you get into something that's a lot fancier than that, then I think the clock starts ticking on how long it's going to be in style. But a plain subway tile, especially white, I feel like that is just going to really stay in style. You're not going to be sorry. It's going to look beautiful 5 years, 10 years, 15. I'm going to say 20 years from now.
How about 125 years? I understand that the Biltmore was one of the first places to install subway tile in their bathrooms, and that was 125 years ago. Now, definitely the subway tile, I just had to go around, and, a very nice go around, of course, with clients of mine. They wanted something different. Let's just do something different. And they have a craftsman home. And so we went through a lot of different tiles and some that were really, really like, I'm hitting you on the head that I am a craftsman looking tile, which, it's like too much. You don't want it to be a caricature of the type of home that you are. It was just too much. And then, maybe do the more traditional greens or the pinks and the blacks. And they were all over the place. And where did we end up? It was a simple white 2x8 subway tile. And it looks fantastic. And it'll look fantastic in 125 years. And I hope their house is still there, standing.
Yeah, well, good. So they went with the subway.
Yep. Okay, another thing, neutral tones. We have been neutral for a while. We weren't before, then we were. Then we're adding some pops of color in. And color is really hot now. But you cannot go wrong with choosing neutral tones for your foundational pieces. And in fact, that's what you should be doing. Timeless quality can stand as a backdrop to just about anything that you want to add, any type of accent, whether it's pattern or color or a combination of both. Neutral tones just look great with everything, new furniture, vintage pieces. It's a very basic and simple way to decorate, but it's very smart and it's just going to always look good.
It really is the most versatile way to go. Go with at least a solid. At least a solid if you don't do neutral, but definitely a neutral color. You're going to be able to change it out with greens or blues or pinks or whatever your heart desires. You can change it out seasonally. It doesn't matter. Your foundational pieces are going to work with it, and they're going to be in style for a longer period of time.
Type of furnishing, and you may have heard it in connection with a chair, but maybe not so much with connection with a table, but a Parson table. It's very simple. You've all seen it. The table legs are the same width as the top. So it's kind of almost like, in a sense, boxy looking, but super simple. It was designed in the 1930s. You may have heard of Parsons School of Design. And so there's a little mixed opinion about how it came to be, whether or not it was designed by one of the professors at Parsons or whether it was a student sort of competition and the student came up with it, but it came out of that institution and therefore it's called the Parson table. It's very straightforward. Therefore, it will work with any decor. If you want to be modern, it works. Get it in a lacquer. If you want to have it look more vintage, get it in brown wood that's stained or have it painted and distress it a little bit. It's just a really classic piece that you could put any chair with. You could do a ghost chair with it. You could do a Parsons chair with it. You could do one of Anita's Favy French chairs with it. Anything paired with it because it is such a blank slate of a table will work. And then imagine the width of the top. Oftentimes there's just a slim drawer. You could put some fabulous hardware on it, like, paint it lacquered navy blue and put great gold pulls on it or something like that. There's, like the little black dress, there's a myriad of ways to dress it up or dress it down, wear it with a pair of flip-flops. So, keep it white, keep it plain, don't put any handles on it. You can play it so many different ways, but it's going to work in every single room.
It's so wonderful to have something so versatile like that works with everything. And something else that works with everything are plants. Putting some real plants in your house. I love the look of real plants. It's not just filler, but it's just a bit of nature that you can bring in the house, and it really does boost your mood.
You know how I love plants, whether they're inside or they're outside.
Yes.
But I do have to say this about houseplants. It has been crazy in the past, maybe 3 years or so. Houseplants have become so hot. I mean, people have had houseplants for probably as long as they've had houses. My only caveat to the houseplant is if you're going to invest, particularly in a big plant, maybe right now don't get the fiddle leaf fig because that little starlet, or big starlet, I should say, she's had her moment. She's kind of like oversaturated, like Gwyneth Paltrow was at one time. I don't want to see her anymore, right? So right. So maybe get something a little fernier or a palm or something like that, because I fear that the fiddle leaf fig, although it's so unfair to do this to a plant, I feel like its trend is sliding out.
Oh,
I know. And if you have one, don't let it die just because of that. Keep it alive. But I don't know if I'd go out and seek one out, because that's the plant. That was the hot plant everybody wanted to have.
Oh, well, if you have a fiddle leaf ficus, put your hands over its little ears so it doesn't hear that it's out of style now.
No, don't let it know. Something that is also been around for a long time, probably almost as long as this Parsons table, is woven or cane furniture. But then it came back. And it's been a hot trend, and not just for summer anymore. But I think that really has staying power. Again, something that was popular 75 years ago and is still around. Well, you can really feel confident that sort of look, that particular type of furniture does have staying power. It may not be the hot thing for the next 10 years on everybody's mind to get, but it's never going to go away, i.e., it became a classic. So I love rattan and bamboo and wicker and all that. And you can picture it in chairs, and you can picture it in kind of like looser, open, casual side tables and whatnot. But I love pieces of furniture it's almost like it's covered in fabric of the caning or the woven material, almost like a grass cloth. And then it's sometimes lacquered or polyurethane on top of it. And it's just a really great look. And it makes a piece of furniture really interesting, because you're not going to have every piece in your house look like that. That is going to be a standout piece. And I don't think you have to be serving Mai Tais to have that in your house. I think it works with a lot of different looks.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved like the caned furniture, and a lot of antique furniture does have a caned back or a caned seat. And if you are looking at vintage pieces that have a caned seat, watch out, because a lot of them are not going to hold up over much use. So if you are buying caned furniture, make sure that whatever's caned is not going to get a lot of use. Now, rattan is probably going to hold up a lot better than the caning, but I love the look.
The vintage chairs that I have, and vintage I say very loosely, because either these were estate sale or yard sale or thrift store finds, and usually for $5. But still, when you fall in love with the chair, you don't want somebody's tush to go through the caning. So
exactly,
I have one like that in a little angle on my landing, and then there's one in my girls' bathroom. If you do have a chair that's caned and something bad happens to it, Goldilocks falls through it or something like that, there are people out there that will recane. Even if you don't know someone specifically in your area, maybe ask an upholsterer that you know, because
I think there's only one place in Houston that does it, by the way. So it's not that easy to find.
No, it's not. That's why I say it's kind of a dying art. But so
yes,
the way I found someone to recane something was through my upholsterer. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off, yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com.
How about vintage furniture?
Yay.
We sing the praises of vintage furniture all the time. It really came into fashion to have something vintage, really hot, I guess I should say, about 10 years ago. And then maybe it wasn't as hot. But honestly, these vintage pieces of furniture, not all vintage pieces are created equal, but a lot of these pieces are better built. If you're looking at a dresser, if you're buying a new dresser, it's probably not solid wood, whereas a vintage piece probably is. The vintage pieces are going to hold up better. If you want something that's hand carved, it's hard to find something brand new that's actually hand carved. If you find something brand new that's carved, it's probably not actually hand carved. It's probably something that resin that was in a mold. So there really is a quality of workmanship that is in vintage furniture that you really is rare to find in new. And so we both have so many beautiful pieces of vintage furniture, and I love having it. And a lot of times these pieces have a very unique look to them. You know, and I probably shouldn't say this, but a lot of times I've been featuring furniture that was new, that I was featuring for a sponsor, and I would have it paired with something vintage, and pretty much every time people would say, "Oh, I love that whatever it was that they would point to. Where did you get that?" It was always the vintage piece.
Right.
Instead of the sponsored piece, I'd be like, "Look at this piece. Isn't it pretty?" Which I would think it was pretty. But no, they were drawn to the vintage piece. And why is that? Because because they spotted that it has a very unique look. Whereas the sponsored piece was new, and so it didn't look so unique. You know, it looked like something you could get a lot of places.
Right.
So, anyway.
Right. Okay, another thing that has been very hot is the white sofa. Now, there's probably two camps on that, but it has prevailed as a trend for quite some time. And so I'm going to declare that the white sofa is a classic. It doesn't have to be bright white. It doesn't have to be slip covered. It certainly doesn't need to be shabby chic shaped or draped. It can be a white sofa in just about any classic shape. And it's going to work for you. It can be cream. It can be off-white, ecru. So in the white family, it doesn't have to be stark white, of course. That is going to carry into the future because it's so versatile. Certainly if you have a bunch of little kids or a bunch of pets, maybe that white is not the best choice for you. But we're talking about choice and lifestyle as opposed to a trend that becomes a classic. I think it as a a trend has definitely slid into the classic category. So if you're in the market for a new sofa and you've always wanted a white sofa and you don't have one, the ship has not sailed. You can still get one. And what I would suggest is get one in a very classic shape, like the tuxedo sofa shape. It's very minimal, but does not look like it's mid-century modern. It's just very simple, sort of squared off arms. It's not some big rolled arm. It's not a funny shape. It doesn't have a big skirt on it or anything like that. It's the tuxedo style sofa, and it was made popular by the interior designer Billy Baldwin. So if you look up tuxedo sofa or Billy Baldwin sofa, you should be able to see by Googling it what a tuxedo sofa looks like. Because every shop that you go to, whether it's online or in person, if you say, I want a tuxedo sofa, they might look at you like, what is that? And try to show you something that's in black and white or something with tails. It doesn't really have anything to do with wearing a tuxedo. It was more that just the name that Billy Baldwin gave to this type of very classic sofa. So get the look in your mind and the lines of it, and then maybe shop for something that is spot on or similar to that. So you've combined now the white fabric, this very classic shape. This will carry you into the future quite nicely.
You mentioned this earlier, and so I couldn't let this one go, and that is a French chair.
Yes.
This is a trend that you will not regret. Every room looks better with one French chair in it. And there's so many beautiful antique French chairs that are really selling for so much less than they did 5 years ago. So you can get one for a great deal, hand-carved, hand-painted, whatever you're looking for. It's out there. And here's the thing. You might say, well, you know what? I saw a chair style. They will blend in beautifully. Try it. I've seen them mixed with just about everything, and they're done beautifully. Especially contemporary and modern furniture is going to be beautiful with that.
Oh, yeah. Here, my favorite word, juxtaposition. Yeah, love it.
Yes.
It's a great look. So definitely try that. So those are my staying power classic trends. Do you have some more to add, Anita?
I'm going to just add one.
Yeah, bring it.
And that, okay, and it's because I still am so in love with it. Linen. Yeah. Linen in your house. Linen sheets, linen slip covers, linen pillows. There's something about that fabric, even a tablecloth. It has a little wrinkle to it, but it has a drape, for lack of a better word. There's a drape to it that as soon as I see it, if I see it in person, I can tell whether it's 100% linen or not when I look at it. And there's a beauty to the 100% linen that I really can't describe. Now, it does wrinkle, but again, that's to me like sterling silver. If you bend it, it'll bend easily because it's silver. That's kind of how you know it's real silver. Linen is going to wrinkle. That's how you know it's real linen. So it's okay if it wrinkles. It doesn't bother me. And some linen pieces, you're not really supposed to iron them. So they're supposed to look wrinkled. So that's okay. I know it can look messy if someone's wearing linen and it's all wrinkled. But in the home, I think that's perfectly fine for it to be wrinkled.
I think so too. Anita, the IG feature for today is so beautiful.
I thought you would like this one. It's Bainton Flowers, and they're in Wiltshire, England, and they grow organic flowers, and they're also florists. So these are so beautiful. A lot of these are floral arrangements, and sometimes they're a garden area or maybe a place in the house with just a small arrangement. But the thing I love about all of these arrangements is they're all so unique. Each arrangement looks completely different. These are a lot of unique flowers. Clearly, these aren't just from the grocery store. And the backdrops are breathtaking, too. But I love how she uses such a variety of wildflowers and just beautiful blooms, maybe some traditional flowers like roses and peonies. But there's a lot of other things in there, too, and they're just stunning.
Just so gorgeous. And you know how I love doing floral design. So I get a lot of inspiration from scrolling through here. So thank you for sharing this one. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. My crush today is something that I talked about in one of our Amazon episodes when we pick out things and curate the vast universe of Amazon for you and find great decor items. So it was the sconces that I had mentioned from Kate and Laurel. I had purchased them, but I never got to talk to you all about them after they arrived, I guess. So I am crushing on them. They are really beautiful. They're very big. You know, I mean, I did measure them, so I did need something big on that wall in my living room, but they have even a grander presence in person. They come with the glass cylinder. You do have to buy the battery operated candle separately. Really lovely gold. It's kind of almost like a gold leafy looking gold. It's a nice warm gold. It's not flat. It's got some texture and layers to it. And then kind of this straight piece of metal and then a circular piece and then the holder for the glass cylinder and then the candle. Really beautiful. And they were very reasonably priced. So I'll put the link in the show notes.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see these. So my crush is very helpful because, we like to monitor our credit to make sure, we don't have any kind of breaches with our accounts or anything. So this is an app you can actually put on your phone. But the cool thing about it is you can check your credit score if you wanted it, like at any time. I think that was kind of interesting, but it also kind of shows you all your open accounts and how much might be due on your mortgage and how much you have on maybe your Amex card. So it's all kind of that credit information, and it can kind of tell you if your credit score went up or down. It can kind of tell you the factors that went into it. Like maybe you opened up a new account, or you have a lot, you put a lot on this credit card this month, or you paid something off. It's very interesting. Now it also has an opportunity for you to lock your credit on there, but that's a paid service. So, that's up to you whether you want to do that. Equifax also has a credit. It's called a Lock and Alert app. So if you have your credit locked, that means that nobody impersonating you or even you can go open up a new credit account for a new loan or something. So that kind of keeps some fraud at bay. Now, so if you wanted to open up a loan, for example, you would have to get that unlocked. Anyway, it's just kind of a helpful tool.
Great. Good to know.
Remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.